This is my final presentation for the grant from the Ministry of Education for the Digital Learning Project, which in this case is negotiation or商業談判. I'm going to quickly go over what we've done in this class and its structure. Now, it's a little bit complicated, so I need you to be positive and stay focused a little bit. Let me try to begin by just giving a quick overview. We're going to look at the curriculum that was involved in this class, the underlying design of the class, the students' performance in the class, and the platform we created in the class, and then future outlook, what we're going to do in the future. The first part is the curriculum plan. And the curriculum of this class is not just made up by me one day, but rather is based on educational theory, especially related to business negotiation, training, and online teaching. So these are a lot of different parts coming together that we've worked really hard on. For example, if you look here, you can see that in this class we have a little bit of a complicated structure or flow. The key part of this flow is that it moves in a kind of circle. That is, we give instruction, then we give feedback to students, a very detailed feedback, and then we go to the instructor, back to the student, back to the instructor in a continuous circle of learning. In this class we have many students involved in groups and also individually, but they flow through the class in a kind of step-by-step process that includes joining groups, forming pseudo-companies, then doing virtual marketplaces, that is simulated business, making deals, and then evaluating those deals and then circling back to do it all again. This is a complicated structure, but it doesn't include just the simulation of business. Rather, it also includes different parts such as quizzes, such as online instructional videos, such as individual work and group work and extra work. We've really added all the different possibilities into this class, including, of course, the instructional area, and then, of course, the supporting video instruction. We also have quizzes that are all online. We also have group work, which is the RPG or role-playing game that students undertake a simulation. We also have individual part of the class, which includes a very detailed writing component to the class. And then we have an extra part of the class for students who are interested, which includes coding and using R to evaluate the very detailed behavioral data that this class generates. We have, of course, the outline of the class, which is extremely detailed, and that is included in our online and inside our documentation. Students can come to this part anytime, and it's full. You can see all these blue lines are all hyperlinks. It's full of hyperlinks. All of those hyperlinks lead to different things online that are related to the class, making it very easy for students to follow. The class includes a video instruction part, which I am usually the instructor of, and that includes theory about negotiation, but also practice for negotiation, and then, of course, lectures about the ideas and tactics of negotiation. In this class, probably the most important part is the role-playing game, which is a simulation of business. And here's a couple screenshots. This is totally written by myself and made specifically for this class. Now, this is an interface or a platform, and you have sellers and buyers. So here is the seller and here is the buyer. And this is the interface they see. They can use this on their phone, on a PC, on a tablet, any place they go at any time. But the key point is that this platform connects the students who are sellers and buyers together. This is not some kind of game that you play online and you just play with yourself or you just watch something happen like a video game. No, it depends on the students participating simultaneously or asynchronously. It doesn't really matter. Either way, they find each other and they have to make deals through this system. They can do things live or they can do things delayed. The system allows them to do anything they like. Just like real business, you can have a face-to-face business meeting and make a deal, or you can send an email and make a deal later, or through your partners you can make a deal. This system, this platform allows all of that to happen. If we look at the section here, this is the beginning of the game where you roll the dice. That is, some random part is introduced into the system, and each week the students play, this changes a little bit so that they have different advantages and disadvantages throughout the whole semester. We also have online quizzes, which are quite detailed. All of our quizzes draw from a deep database, so one quiz may have 20 questions, but the source it draws from could be 100 questions, and they randomize them so each student gets different opportunities. And the students get opportunities to change their questions if something's wrong. They get immediate feedback and can change. The goal here is learning uptake, not to evaluate their quiz-taking abilities. And finally, in this class, we have an online writing system which is specifically oriented towards business, in this case, quick business letters, where I train students for writing specific business letters, and we give them detailed feedback on that. Also in the course, we have ebooks, and here's an example of 3 ebooks we have. When they write their assignments for the business letters, there's also links to material I've made. Here's an example of students participating in the class, and you can see where they have these, they're using Line or other texting software to talk to each other, such as here. And then sometimes they do screen captures of the simulated business negotiation, and they can share that with each other. And here's an example of students working. Now, another part of the class which is a little bit more boring, but very important for skill development, is actual business letter writing. Now, of course, this could be emails you write to other businesses, such as finding out prices, finding out supplies and quality and opportunities for making a deal. We train students on how to do that. So here we give them hands-on writing business letters. This is individual assignment. Here you can see what the students see. This is an assignment, and the assignment actually has 4 supporting videos just to support that one assignment that they can watch to help them get going. Part of the class emphasizes planning and preparing goals, and this is an example of that. Again, here is the RPG, where each group can decide how to form their company and distribute their strengths and weaknesses. You can see here the scoring system inside the RPG is very open and transparent. Each group can see how they're doing on each part of the score system. And then the students will use this interface, and here are the different aspects of the interface, to play the RPG. Here's an example of students. It looks like they're maybe in a train station or the bus station, and they're actually playing the RPG, which is fantastic. That's the whole point of this class, is to get students ready for the technology that is so normal in businesses today, working remotely, working on your own, but then also being part of a team and negotiating and interacting with people from other companies. We simulate that in this whole class. The key point is that this class is open to non-majors also. You don't have to be a business student to take this class. And many students from other departments take this class because they know in the future they're going to be doing some kind of business and contacting customers of some kind overseas in the future. So it's a very popular class. Here we can see an example of students again playing the game, and they're using their cell phone. This is not in my classroom, this is in another teacher's classroom. This is an example on the PC, and this is an example on the cell phone. And here are some screenshots of some of the communications to each other that they do. They use, of course, Line and other communication devices, platforms, and they do screenshots and share with each other. And you can see this is what they're working with when they begin the game, and then later they do their deals. We invited Professor Stanworth to come in and give our students some input, and this is because some students actually asked me and requested, can we learn more about how to present our companies in a negotiation? As the semester went on, the last third of the semester, again, we followed this structure, but things accelerate a little bit more. Again, we play our role-playing game, and we also do our letter writing, and then we do more and more video instruction. So we're teaching students specifically things they need to do. And then we also have Professor Stanworth giving us more and more feedback. And that feedback was about how to make presentations, how to begin and end presentations, how to show your product, all business oriented. These are not research presentations, these are specifically for business products and services. The interface for the role-playing game, the RPG, was completely made by myself, coded by myself, and this is an example. While the outside of the program, the interface looks very simple, this is an example of deals, making some deals, and the sales prices, the quantities, the average sale price, very detailed data that students really love to dig into. And this is what the code actually looks like. So this is the actual code that I've written that draws data from the database or inserts into the database and comes up for the students to see. This is not something we brought off the shelf. We made this specifically to match the students' needs. In addition, students who were interested, a small number of students, not many, but a small number, were interested to come and learn more, and we used R as an analysis for the data we collected. Each group is making a deal with other groups, and this ends up being thousands and thousands of contacts and communications done through the software. We can then use R to do a large-scale analysis of big data. Now, our data is not huge, but it is in the tens of thousands of data points. So we have examples of using big data analysis in R, and students can come and work on that, and some did. It's extra. It's not a core part of the class and not graded, but it is extra. Here is an example of the back end of the RPG game. And this is, I guess we would call this the back office, right? This is what the professor and the TA see, and it's quite complicated. This is all of the different RPGs being played. Here's an example of an RPG from the back office again. This is, again, the back office. And this is each group's progress in this specific RPG week by week. So each group is here. RPG very, very detailed and carefully. Because this class is large and we have many students involved and parts of the class are quite detailed and technical, and we also have many students that are not business majors. So we have a TA time, not required, extra, twice a week where students can come in and talk to TAs and get help. So we have both English and Chinese opportunities here, and you can see that they come in with their groups. They also have times to get a little bit of follow-up tips and lectures from some of our TAs with experience, and they also do some game playing. Now, the game playing is a way to help build that group cohesion. One part of this class that's very important is to teach students in a small group. When you make negotiation, you need to cooperate. You need to divide up your workload and share the work. And this is a way to help that when they come in for TA time. We give them some group exercises to help group cohesion. Of course, this class was executed online 100%, and part of that is the iLearning platform at National Zhongxin University. And you can see we each week and day by day posting the activities to keep students up to date and informed, and we include very simple updates and links to help them stay on schedule. That was really the most important part. And of course, we upload our videos as part of this grant to the Open EDU platform. Now, the problem here is we can put our videos there, but we cannot really put the RPG there because the RPG is a live simulation that students are doing at the time, like a PBL design. You can't really have that run from a platform, but we do have all of the other material up on the platform. Of course, in this platform that we developed, we had many photos, pictures, videos, and all of those we've designed ourselves, or we've paid for the license, and we use Shutterstock and Storyblocks as our platforms that we purchase from. So everything is legal and has no issues for being posted on YouTube or any other public platform. So what have we really done this semester? What we've really done is accomplish a number of things, including business writing at the personal level and simulation and negotiation at the group level. We've been able to collect very detailed data that we can use to test exactly slightly different methodologies, kind of A/B testing we use at different times in the semester or with different groups. Then we can use R to analyze that using social network analysis or big data analysis to really help us develop to publish in the future, which we're already working on, and to develop the class to improve and be even better. The metrics for this class look quite good. Of course, we have a very large class. You can see this is the online grade system here. Each student could log in at any time and see exactly what their progress is throughout the whole semester. Everything is very automated. I spent tons of time so that all the numbers go from the RPG into the score sheet. The group scores go into the score sheet. The groups, when they grade their group members, goes into the score sheet. The quizzes go to the score. Everything they can see, moment by moment, they can see and get an update. On the YouTube side, all of our videos, of course, were posted online, and we have a very good view of numbers. You can see here, this is towards the end of the semester with thousands of views of our videos. Here we see an overall overview of the class. This is the class grading sheet, which is online, and this is some of the statistics students get to see of where their grade falls in class. In this slide, we can see the overall marketplace is what we call the marketplace. So this is the simulation, the RPG for the negotiation, and each group can see and track the progress of each other group. So here we have groups, and then on the y-axis, on the x-axis here are all of the RPGs. We have 8 RPGs, and each group can follow what each group's progress is and see exactly how they're doing in this competition. It's like a competition. In the QBL, again, all of the grades come out in great detail for the RPG and the QBL, and each student can see what other students have done. Although the student's personal information is hidden, they can at least see where they fall compared to other students in the class, although they don't know who they are exactly. Okay, so I think we've really achieved a lot in this class. It's very difficult to have a class of a PBL with detailed behavior, with groups, and individual work, and all done remotely, never in a classroom. This is not an easy thing to do. This is not a class I made where we just recorded videos and students watch videos and take quizzes. That's not what this class is. The videos and instruction are a beginning point to play a negotiation RPG which trains students, which confronts students, which challenges students, and students enjoy the challenge to rise above and to compete with each other to do a good job and to cooperate inside of their group. That's what this class is really about. And this grant has allowed me to develop the multiple technological parts of this effort, which is not easy. And the hardest part is bringing it all together in a cohesive way. From the student's perspective, the hardest part is staying on schedule, staying on target, staying focused. Not an easy thing. When we began the semester, of course, COVID-19 was still raging and, everything was limited. Now, at the end of the semester, things were a little bit better, but still, students appreciated this opportunity to not have to come into a classroom and to be able to do things on their own time, in their own way. So the professional skills we emphasized were very important. We focused on problem solving in a PBL approach, and we had a large class solution. Students' reviews that I obtained through online surveys were very, very positive. They especially like the ability to not have to come into school and to work on their own. Of course, some of the biggest problems include things like working inside your group. Group work is always hard, and that's something that I need to work on in the future. How to form groups, how to let groups contact each other, how to manage it and keep groups on target. These are not easy problems to solve, but we've done a good job this semester, and this grant has allowed us to design and execute this very complicated approach, which includes group work, individual work, and then overall PBL simulations that really prepare students for the business environment. So, I want to thank you very much for this opportunity. It's been a great and challenging academic semester, and the grant has been very helpful in letting me achieve these goals and helping our students to learn personal skills, group skills, and business skills, and a little bit of communication skills. Thank you very much.